So you want to know what an agent looks like? Well, here you go. Here's a prime example of a liar, somebody that's on the inside reporting on Oroville Dam. He's making up to $10,500 a month, and he has the audacity to ask for gas money. Are you guys crazy? Don't you people see what these criminals are all about? He's reported on false numbers that are cooked. The water level numbers aren't even real. There's absolutely no data errors. I wonder why, because the numbers are false. Another thing is the live feed that they're showing you, it's not even live. I had a commenter give me some information. He said that if you watch it every day, you'll notice that the power towers will disappear, and then the next day they're there, and then an hour later they're not there. So you really think they can take power towers down that quick? I don't.
I'm not going to walk around. I'm just going to say this was about you. We didn't get through to everybody that wanted to come here, I'm sure. I think it was a great healing thing, and if you're up for it, we'll do it again Saturday. We'll be here at noon. I'll rent the hall. We'll be here at noon. I see some nodding, so let's plan on doing that. As far as many of the questions and suggestions that were asked here, we have them on film. I will, as I do, try to be straightforward. I'm accused of being blunt. Try to get you answers. A couple things to start with. The evacuation, for as bad as it was, I mean, Corey Honey was a giant of a person. He had the world on his back.
Why is that? Because you guys knew this dam was damaged how many years ago and was at risk of failing? Oh, that's right, because you guys wanted it to fail. You could swoop up all that gold and land for nothing and kill a bunch of people. Just what you like to do.
They called me right after he heard that the 30 foot of the dam was going to collapse. And there's 167 miles of shoreline. That's a lot of water. And when you talk 30 feet of water, that's what it would have been. Because they thought that whole emergency spillway was going to collapse. So was the evacuation perfect? No. Were there problems with it? Absolutely there are problems. The evacuation was based on a complete collapse of the dam map that was made years and years ago.
Did we just hear this correctly? A map of the dam collapse that was made years ago? Yeah, that would be something they would do.
The evacuation was based on a complete collapse of the dam map that was made years and years ago. There is now, right now, our sheriff that I know we all trust is working on different scenarios for evacuation, and I'm not privy to that because it's not complete. So the honest answer is we need to make the evacuations more applicable to the amount of water that's going to come, and the routes need to be more complete, and that's being worked on. And I trust our sheriff to do that. The second, all the different ideas about food came up. People were calling me they were running out of food. And there's two sides to that. One is if you're told to get ready to evacuate, you're supposed to try, if you're capable, to have 3 days worth of food with you. And a lot of people didn't think it would be true. And the other side of that is we didn't have a plan to supply food to, as a gentleman pointed out, Bangor, or people went anywhere in the hills, Forbstown, wherever. I found out, I found out the store. Well, they put up a flyer called Bill Connelly. We're running out of food. I'm like, that's kind of above my pay grade, Call the governor up and say, send the trucks? I don't know. I don't want this to be about me. I want it to be about you healing. I trained that guy well, didn't I?
Where was our
Red Cross set up in Chico, but I'm not going to talk about that. I grew up here, and a gentleman compared Oroville to a beautiful woman. And I guess where I get sideways with other people, and they maybe And I love the congressman, he's doing a great deal. We've got to give him a hand before I make my statement. I've always had this this feeling that we were shorted when they built the dam. But only when I became elected and really inherited the Book of Broken Promises from Bob Beeler, my predecessor, and really looked into what we get from the dam and the facilities around us, that I became, I'm the dog you beat with a stick until he got mean. You know, and you can talk about collaboration and healing and all of that, well, we can do that. But we gotta hold them accountable to make us whole. We gotta hold them accountable to make us safe. And number one, to make us whole and safe, we need to have this facility brought into the 21st century.
Trump is cutting funds to environmental protection agencies so that he can embezzle that money and build himself a great wall to make America great again. Do you people really understand what you voted for and what you're going to get out of this? Well, you're not going to like it.
We need everything there to answer the gentleman's questions about the turbines. My inside information, we're lucky if we got 2 out of 6 running. The river valve has been broke a few years ago, and I don't know if they ever got it fixed. That spills water out of the bottom of the lake. The emergency spillway was never designed to be used except in a catastrophic event, and that's where I went off the reservation and warned you to get ready. Catastrophic, meaning no control. God's in control, putting water into the lake. The levees are already breaking. That's when you use that. That was not a controlled spill. So I think that we need to operate the dam in the 21st century, keep the water down low enough that you can take on 170% of snowpack with warm rain, put our safety before water contractors or anybody else. That's the second thing. The third point that I've come to mind after thinking about this for a while is we should be made whole. And I don't know how to do that. I don't know, meaning when we had to evacuate and our jobs were at risk, our businesses were shut down. Our economy's been impacted in a negative manner. Our roads are being impacted in a very negative manner. We need to be made whole, and I've got to let, again, the congressman and the assemblyman and the state senator and our national senator who's here today, we need them to work with us to make sure that we're held whole, or I promise you, as one board member, I want to sue them. Because I think we need, that impact needs to be, we may not win, but at least we tried. The fourth point is, this lake inundated 41,000 acres of Butte County property that is not taxable. A federal facility gets what's called payment in lieu of taxes. That's your business is hurting there. Bring that up, Mr. Munch. We get no payment in lieu of taxes. A federal facility like Reading does. We don't. We have an out-of-pocket cost of about $5.3 million a year for police, fire, search, rescue. We get a little houseboat revenue and all that, but we negative, as taxpayers, $5.3 a year. So the bare land value that they did is, they admit it's 1.2 to 6.9. Let's take the high side, so they owe us about $12 million a year. We get none of that.
How
So
about small businesses?
it's always been a drain on us here. It's been a drain on us. The small business, I covered that, impacted. And the last thing, I think that we've been promised a lot of recreation that's never been developed. And it's very amazing to me how they find a way to slip out of it. I mean, there was a protest up on the dam well before I was in office, and we got them to dedicate $20 million, and FERC said, we don't care where you get it, go get it. They went to water contractors and they started bringing it. But only when we protested they got up on the lake. So my last point is, where's all this recreation we were always promised? Where is it? Our free recreation went away. I went one day on my bike to go eat lunch with somebody on their houseboat. It was $8 to park my Harley. I mean, come on. That's enticing recreation. And I know you've all been impacted that way. So I have 5 points that I just covered. You asked what I meant. I don't have all your answers. I'm going to work on it. I will be here 12 o'clock on Saturday for people that want to come vent and heal, and I hope I don't do a big speech like this again. That should be your evening. Thank you. And the bar is open if you choose to drink. You're on your own. You want a soda, I'll buy you one. Thank you.